The southern region is spread across states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala.
The southern region of India contributes significantly to the agriculture growth of the country. Despite suffering from several biophysical constraints and fragile agro-ecosystems.
Government of India has come out with a new project that is on climate research, where CREDA is coordinating entire program with several ICR Institute partners and Krishi Vijnana Kendras. It has two components. First one is a strategic research. Second component is to demonstrate climate resilient technologies at ground level, farmers level, to develop climate resilient model villages with several components like a custom hiring center, village climate risk management committee, integrated farming systems, particularly with farm pond based integrated farming systems in rain-fed regions, provide resilience to Indian agriculture so that during any weather aberrations, national food security is not affected adversely.
The NICRA project is coordinated at the national level by the Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, CREDA. The technology demonstration component is being implemented across 121 districts spread across 28 states.
One union territory.
The major climate vulnerabilities threatening the food and livelihood security of the rural poor are scanty and uneven distribution of rainfall, prolonged dry spells, poor recharge of shallow aquifers.
Frequent occurrence of droughts and floods are common.
In the southern region, technology demonstrations were implemented.
18.
Krishi Vigyan Kendras, KVKs, with the support of Agricultural Technology Application Research Institutes
at Hyderabad and Bangalore, in partnership with state agriculture universities of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana.
Climate resilient interventions are implemented in 4 major modules: Natural Resource Management, NRM, Crop Production, Livestock and Fisheries, Institutional Interventions. Scarcity of water is a perennial problem in this region, which aggravates during deficient monsoon conditions.
As part of the technology demonstration component of NICRA, location-specific soil and water conservation measures were demonstrated to reduce the impacts of dry spell and droughts. Conservation furrows increases storage of moistures in soils and protect the crop against recurrent dry spell and increased crop yields up to 25%. Runoff leads to loss of fertile topsoil from agricultural lands. Hence, the trench-cum-bunding techniques was demonstrated, which arrested soil loss, conserved runoff, and improved crop growth. On-farm water storage was promoted as a key intervention in the NICRA villages. Integration of farm pounds with suitable cropping systems along with micro irrigation minimized the risk of crop failure in the event of deficient rainfall conditions and improved crop yields up to 20%. Plastic lining of farm pounds prevented loss of water through seepage.
போன வருஷம்லாம் தென்னம்பிள்ளை மட்டும்தான் பாஞ்சது, ஒன்றும் மகசூல் இல்லை. இந்த வருஷம் ஏதோ ஒரு 2 ஏக்கர் வெங்காயம் நட்டோம். இப்போ மாட்டுக்கு செந்தாளம் தட்டை, அந்த காய்கறி வீட்டுக்கு அதான் வச்சுருக்குறோம். இது குட்டை வச்சதுக்கு பரவாயில்லைங்க. குட்டை இல்லைன்னா இப்போ இந்த மாட்டுக்கு தீனி அது இதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. அளவுக்கு பரவாயில்லைங்க.
On main stream check dams were constructed as water storage structures which help in groundwater recharge and recharging of open wells and bore wells. The recharged water was used for critical irrigation during deficient rainfall conditions and used for taking up of second crop during normal rainfall years, which enhanced cropping intensity significantly. In Nikra villages, defunct water harvesting structures were identified to carry out the desiltation with farmers' participation to enhance water storage. Conserving and harvesting water and utilizing the harvested water efficiently through micro irrigation techniques minimized the risk of crop failure and enhanced yields in horticulture and filled crops significantly during prolonged dry spells and deficient rainfall conditions. Efforts under Nikra lead to drought proofing of villages and increased cropping intensity. As part of Nikra, desilting of drainage channels was taken up, which reduced the duration of flooding and reduced the impact of flooding on crops.
Short duration drought tolerant crop varieties were demonstrated for delayed sowing and deficit rainfall conditions in the region. Short duration varieties in pigeon pea, groundnut, less water requiring hybrids in castor, high yielding varieties in setaria enable farmers to cope with shortened growing season due to late arrival of monsoon and delayed plantings.
Climate resilient crops minimized risk of crop failure due to drought in comparison to the traditional long duration crops.
ఈ రకం వచ్చేసి ఎకరాకు 8 నుంచి 10 క్వింటాలు దిగుబడి వస్తుంది. కొద్దిగా బెట్ట కూడా వర్షాకాలం కూడా తక్కువైనా కూడా పండుతుంది. ప్లస్ మాకు పశుగ్రాసానికి కూడా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. ఇది 3085 వచ్చేసి అది 10 నుంచి 12 క్వింటాలు దిగుబడి వస్తుంది. అది ఆ రకం కూడా బాగానే ఉన్నాయి. 2 రకాలు మేము ఇంతకుముందు వేసుకునే రకాలు నాటు రకాలు అవి ఎకరాకు 5 నుంచి 6 అట్లా వస్తున్నాయి దిగుబడి.
In finger millet, ML 365 performed significantly better with an average yield advantage of 33% compared to local varieties in the southern Karnataka region. Practice of sole cropping is predominant in rain-fed region of southern India, but is risky and often results in low yields or sometimes even in crop failure due to erratic monsoon. Cotton, pigeon pea, groundnut and millets are the major crops in the scarce rainfall zone. Intercropping of these crops is more profitable and is a key drought coping strategy.
ನಾವು ಡ್ರೈ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲಗಡಲೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಒಂದು 2.5 ಎಕರೆಗೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಶ್ರ ಬೆಳೆ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ BRG4. ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಬೆಳೆನ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು ಗಿಡದಲ್ಲಿ 30ರಿಂದ 50 ಕಾಯಿವರೆಗೂ ಇಳುವರಿ ಇದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳಸಂಡೆ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಕ್ಕಡಿ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಮಳೆ ಬರಗಾಲದ ಮಳೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಳೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಬೆಳೆನ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸುಮಾರು ನಮಗೆ 15 ಕ್ವಿಂಟಲು ಇಳುವರಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
Soil test based fertilizer application is an important practice demonstrated to correct the deficient nutrients and to rationalize fertilizer application and minimize greenhouse gas emissions associated with excess fertilizer use. Crop yields are declining due to the problem of soil salinity. Salt tolerant paddy variety VGL44 is demonstrated, which yielded 10 to 15% more than the farmer's practice. Green manuring with dhancha increased yield of paddy. Besides, it reduced the cost of fertilizer by 20%. In frequently flood affected regions,
Rice varieties Swarna Sub 1, MTU 1061, MTU 1064, RGL 2537, PLA 1100
were demonstrated, which are high yielding with good grain quality. Apart from possessing submergence tolerance and can perform better under flood situation. Drum seeding is a contingency measures as it facilitates rice sowing under delayed onset of monsoon. Aerobic rice cultivation with drought-tolerant variety MAS 26 was demonstrated, which has reduced the water uses and cost of cultivation. Aerobic rice result in lower methane emissions in comparison to puddled transplanted rice. Demonstration of zero-till maize introduced after harvest of rice efficiently utilize residual soil moistures, save up to 2 irrigations, reduced the cost and greenhouse emissions. In rain-fed areas, small ruminants are providing livelihoods. Hence, emphasis has been given on breed upgradation at village level by introducing breeds like Nari Suvarna, Telichari, etc., which enhanced meat production. Similarly, the synthetic breeds of poultry like Van Raja and Rajasri enhanced the egg production at household level. Availability of fodder is a challenge in the region, especially during long dry spells and lean seasons. To overcome the scarcity of fodder demonstrated around the year, fodder production system of sorghum, maize, lucerne and multi-cut fodder varieties. It increased availability of both green and dry fodder resources in the region. Conservation and preservation of surplus fodder as silage ensured supply of grain fodder during lean season. Preparation of silage using bags was demonstrated in due to low production cost and no fungal contamination as compared to pit method. Farmers were trained on preparation and use of mineral mixtures to mitigate deficiencies, improving reproductive health and milk yield in dairy animals. Low-cost animal housing structures were demonstrated to protect from inclement weather, improve ventilation and reduce heat stresses. Misting facility was able to reduce the impact of heat stresses during summer and subsequent improvement in productivity.
அந்த கெடா வந்ததுலேருந்து எங்களுக்கு குட்டி போடுது, ரெட்டை குட்டியும் போடுது. அந்த ரெட்டை குட்டி போட்டால் எங்களுக்கு நல்லா ஆடும் ரொம்ப வருதுங்க. சின்ன ஒரு குட்டி ஆடு போட்டால் நல்லா வெயிட்டாகவும் இருக்குது. இந்த 2 குட்டி போட்டோம்னா 15 கிலோ 16 கிலோ வருதுங்க. ஒரு குட்டி போட்டுச்சுன்னா 12 கிலோ வருதுங்க. அது மாதிரி வெயிட்டும் அதிகமாக வருது. எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பரவாயில்லையா இருக்குது.
Covering the dry fodder with HDPE 200 GSM UV irradiated and laminated sheets protect the fodder from wetting and subsequent fungal growth during unseasonal rains. This reduced the wastage up to 20%. Regular animal health camps were taken up in convergence with the Animal Husbandry Department to prevent the disease incidence and improve health of the animals in the villages. Due to the interventions of NICRA, the productivity and returns from the animal competent has increased significantly. Recognizing the need for establishment of enabling support systems for participatory decision making and wider adoption of climate resilient agriculture practices, and also build capacities at the local level. Village Climate Risk Management Committees, known as VC-RMCs, were created in all the NICRA villages. 10 to 20 villagers were organized into a group to share, support and encourage fellow farmers to adapt to the climate change.
Establishment of custom hiring centers is an innovative approach adopted under NICRA to make costly equipments affordable and accessible to small and marginal farmers,
and to promote climate resilient practices and also to meet timeliness of farm operations. CHCs are managed by farmers themselves, and hiring charges are worked out by the VC or MCs in consultation with users farmers. Farmers are receiving customized agromet advisories developed using the weather data from automatic weather station network and block level weather forecasts. These advisories are helping the farmers for timely decision making and planning farm operations.
Seed is a critical input in the arid and semi-arid areas. Ensuring the right speed at the right time is important for enhancing resilience to climate risks.
Farmer groups were encouraged to multiply seeds of varieties, particularly short duration, drought and flood tolerant varieties at the village level for self-reliance in seed and for timely availability. Fodder bank was established in the village under NICRA project. The harvested fodder and the silage was used by farmers during the lean season.
The green fodder shortage was reduced significantly within 4 years of NICRA project.
Value addition to the millets was taken up and women groups were trained for millet processing for supply of healthy flour and harnessed the benefits of collective marketing for higher returns to their produce. Training programs on climate resilient agriculture practices and technologies help to create awareness on climate related issues and enhance coping ability among farmers and all stakeholders. NICRA efforts led to a stabilization of productivity and incomes of the farmer. The NICRA project will continue its endeavor to enhance the adaptive capacity of farmers and resilience in the fragile and stressed agro ecosystems. The technologies are adopted by large number of farmers and spreading to adjoining villages. NICRA villages have become hubs for learning on climate resilient agriculture and pave the way for upscaling.